What's going on, everyone? Today's episode features Dr. Dizz. He's a local bartender, content creator, lover of all things Tiki, and a massive nerd. So you knew we had to get him on the show. Today's episode is so much fun. We dive into all things Tiki, cocktail culture, escapism, horror, which is perfect for spooky season. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and hopefully you guys are enjoying all the content I've been putting out for horror-themed cocktails. Make sure you show some love and check out Permanent Vacation, who did us the honor and favor of allowing us to take some space and record at their location. Definitely one of my favorite bars to go to. And shout out to T, Tamara, and all of the team over there. They've been nothing but fantastic. Let them know that Arthur sent you. Without further ado, let's hop right into the show. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. I am your host, Arthur G, here at the Last Call podcast. Today, I actually have the privilege of being in one of my favorite spots, thanks to T, Tamara, for letting us use this space. But we are a Permanent Vacation, and I'm here joined by Dr. Dizz. Were you not expecting me to call you that?
No. I mean, that's already just part of me. That's tied to the hip.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that started out as a rib.
It started off as a rib?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a big nerd kid. So
yeah.
My favorite character was Dr. T, singer of the Electric Mayhem.
Dr. Teeth. I have no idea who that is.
The lead singer of the Electric Mayhem, the Muppets.
Oh my God, you're right. I was thinking of like a normal, real people band.
No, so I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm a doctor. Sure, I'm just like the lead singer of the Electric Mayhem, just pure madness.
Wait, so how long have you had this nickname?
For going on over 15 years now.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, and it all started because, that's my tag. It's okay.
That is
And
funny.
Just people like, oh, doctor, yes. Yes, I am not a medical practitioner. I'm not licensed in any means way, but yes, I am a doctor.
So you're saying if someone on a plane is like, is there a doctor here? And people look at you as like, I can tell you what drinks to have.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I'll say, well, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV, yes.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
No, but to me, it's just fun. Like, everybody just calls me doctor. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm a doctor. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But it just took a name of its own. It's not really like I considered myself a doctor from a culinary standpoint or beverage.
Or beverages. Yeah. Well, for those who don't know who Dr. Dizz is, he's a content creator. He is a drink enthusiast who ended up spending a lot of time with Tiki, so felt right to come here to Permanent Vacation. People might know him from some of his videos online where he's talking about some Tiki mugs, cups, cocktails, and overall just but you're more than that, right, Dr. Dizz?
No, I mean, thank you, Doctor. Yes.
Thanks, Doctor.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to say I'm an enthusiast. I've been passionate really hard for pretty much under craft cocktails and pretty much the science and the rich history just by happenstance and by mistake that these wonderful things happen, and we just go for the ride, and how everything is created meticulously, and how just that little accident at that precise moment became something that we are completely passionate about. And somehow just the play of flavors, like the complexity of simplicity, and just a lot of fun things that come with it, I've always been a hospitality guy. I've been in hospitality for over 27 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went through the craze, and I joke around with the guys. Yeah, I went through the downfall of cocktails and then resurgence back again, because I was in those nightclubs doing woo-woos and kamikazes and surfers on acids and all those horrible drinks that would just destroy you.
Oh my God. Yeah, that really was a fucking vibe for a very long time. The service industry, or like bar industry, was like quick fixes, like Grey Goose and Red Bulls or things like that.
1-in-1 cocktails was the big thing. Yeah. The world. I think it was just something that happened in the 90s. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Let's do shortcuts. Let's cut corners. Flavored spirits. I love a Cosmo, but I don't want to buy 2 bottles. Good. Now you have a flavored orange vodka. Stuff like that. Oh, let's make sweet and sour as neon green as possible. Of course, it was a bad time, but also that was the culture, and then having to, I have to learn and forget all these mistakes that I these bad habits and actually learn again and fall in love with craft cocktails, which I was really lucky because in the downfall in, I'm going to say like 2013, there was like a resurgence of the craft cocktail scene. I was in South Beach at the time, and I was like, it's time to stop doing this nightclub thing. It's fun, but it's time. And I literally was lucky enough that I got retrained and re-welcomed with open hands at the living room at the W South Beach. And I was classically trained by Gabe and Alad from Bar Labs, the Broken Shaker franchise.
Yeah.
And it was just eye-opening, like, oh, this is why I started this, mixing flavors, doing all that, creating cocktails, rich history, like from doing, at the time, the big thing was, oh my gosh, what was the Bar Smarts? That was like reintroduction, like from the world of craft cocktails and mixology with rich history and how it all got started. And I was always, when I was making these things, I was always like, wouldn't it be fun if we did it inspired by this movie or this fun? And because I was always just a nerdy kid at heart, always just having fun with these things.
Hence Doctor.
Yes. Yes, I was Doctor at that time too. Yeah.
So,
but it was really fun. And then I pretty much, I was part of the craft cocktail scene. So I was in competition with the, in those days, we would call it the hipster movement, in Miami. Take your mustaches and your flowery shirts, but I was in the 3-piece. But then I fell in love with Tiki.
Yeah.
And the rich history and the fun of just pretty much Escapism. We were in the same goal, but we were competing for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And
there's plenty of space for everyone to get drinks at.
I went to my first convention, which was Inuele. In Georgia.
Really?
And
why do I not imagine Georgia being a place for conventions?
It's in the middle of winter, so it's like really cold. Everything is locked in, even the pool parties. But that was my first brush of the community. And that community, man, was so welcoming. They weren't like those, like when I was in Miami, I'm not telling you this recipe. I'm not giving you this. I want you to learn. I want you to learn how to do this. And to this day, these people that I met at Inuele are still really close friends now. And that's how touching it. I kept in touch with them. I was a new kid, didn't know anything. I didn't even have my first tiki mug yet. And my first tiki mug, for all those, that was a Mondo Skeletor. Because I was a big Masters of the Universe kid.
A Mondo Skeletor. I know who Skeletor is, but I want to see that mug.
And it was, to me, like the coolest thing I've ever saw. This is 80s pop culture. And that was just my gateway. My gateway of like going down the rabbit hole and falling in love with everything. In that Inuele, I met people that I had no idea were mug designers. Because I was so uncultured, but they were so welcoming. I stayed 30 minutes talking with a gentleman about He-Man and Masters of the Universe. And it turned out it was Van Tiki.
Wait, so you were talking to like the guy,
Tiki.
the guru for this.
And we were just joking around, and and to me that was just like, oh my gosh, everybody, this guy could have technically said, get the hell out of here, and we were just joking around like our toys and everything, and this was Van Tiki, and I was like, what? Even to this day, I share that little thing with him because we always joke around. Now, are you seeing what Thundercats is doing? Are you seeing what He-Man is doing? They're like, oh, it looks so cool. And to me, that is just so amazing, that trigger, which is at the end of the day, the definition of Tiki, escapism, which is that happy memory, that trigger of happiness that transports you into this magical place. Yeah. Like even if I'm going on a tangent talking, if you don't tell me to shut up, I'll keep going.
I'll tell you to shut up.
Okay, good. Because I'll keep going.
I do want to go back. Go back. You talked about actually an interesting period in time where I don't think everyone understood that transformative time in cocktail culture and bar culture, where it almost was synonymous with the time in our world where everything had to go fast paced.
Yeah.
Everything was about speed. I don't
Mhm.
need to run around here and wait 35 minutes for a cocktail. I want something quick, get the job done, and let's go. And I think the early 2000s was a big proprietor of like, hurry up, because that's when booming of
I mean,
new innovation.
there was a lot
fast.
of one-in-one cocktails
Yes.
moving there. There was really not anything intricate.
Yeah.
I think the most complex cocktails in those days were pretty much eventually shots.
Yeah.
You know, because they were like, you got to go layers,
Yeah.
you got to do this, you get a fire, you do it.
Do you think that had to be like that generation or that time? It was like they thought, I guess that would have been me too, because I was
Mhm.
enjoying those kind of cocktails. We thought of like, oh, an old fashioned's my grandfather's drink, like those Negronis and all those are like it's my parents' drinks, and like those are like kind of like a generational thing. Like that's not my style of things, and kind of not necessarily appreciative of those.
I feel like sometimes cocktails went through the same thing that we now have with with foam artists and baristas and so on. How do we get and I don't want to sound mean, like, oh, we were pretty much turning it into candy and juices.
They were.
I don't want to feel the alcohol. I just want juice that'll get me completely wrecked. And yes, it was a quicker, like a quicker time. People just wanted their Long Islands. They just wanted
their blue Long Islands.
And I still do as a joke, we got to thank, I'm going to say that I think it was when Sex and the City started, and
a Cosmo,
and not just a Cosmo, everything in a Cosmo glass, it opened the eyes to these classic cocktails, a little bit more on the fruitier, refreshing side, but we're getting more educated, it was the boom of the internet and everything. Mm-hmm. But that definitely took a toll. I remember just working in bars and it's like, yeah, let's do 50 shots of kamikazes for everybody, or going through the pain of doing B-bomber shots, B-52s, B-53, and all that. And you go meticulously to make it all layered and pretty, and they would just go with a straw and stir it all up and make it nasty. Yeah. But it was a change up in times.
It's funny because we talked about this in a previous episode where whatever was popular on TV is what people started ordering. So you start seeing shows like Mad Men. It's like, I need an old fashioned, or I just need whiskey bars and all that. Suddenly, like, people are ordering this stuff. You see Anthony Bourdain talk about, Pappy Van Winkle's the perfect bourbon and whiskey. And suddenly it becomes the most important bourbon and whiskey to ever happen. If God had a bar, this is what it would be stocked with. Like, comments like that, because people that before the time of influencers were influencing
but it was also happening in music videos.
Oh, yeah, that's
like, come on.
Ciroc, Hennessy, Armadale.
Even before that, let's go even farther down before the millennium ended. It was all Bacardi Limon.
Oh my God, that was
Bacardi
everywhere.
Limon and all the hip hop videos, and and heck, how many times in the day did you ever? Maybe I remember Incredible Hulk. Everybody wanted Hennessy, and
that you could buy that canned now. You could buy that ready to drink.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, because apparently, what's cool for like kids nowadays, or I'm gonna call them kids. Yes, I'm old. Is to drink the shit we used to drink and regret, and now like, I'm gonna try this. Like someone was doing like shots of Everclear as like a TikTok bit. Like, he really doesn't know. Like, I thought at first it was a bit. No, he really didn't know.
Yeah.
People were making Incredible Hulks. People were making like Blue Long Islands. People were making like nutcrackers from New York City, if you're from out there.
I'm not familiar with the nutcracker.
Oh, my.
But I remember Blue Long Islands. It was one of the few drinks that had like 7 different names in the same nightclub, and you had to learn them from. Adios. I'm not sure. Can I curse and so?
Yeah. We're 10 minutes.
All right.
Now you
can curse. Adios, motherfuckers, and stuff like that. So a lot of those things were like the same thing. Blue Long Islands and Blue Iced Teas and whatever. So many names. Yeah. Crazy cocktails. But
you think that pop culture and anything that was going on kind of influenced and shaped that?
I mean, of course, the same way that we were going down, like they were telling us what to drink. Like my generation, my father's generation. Yeah. He was Finlandia as a vodka.
Yep.
It was Cutty Sark or Dewar's, I think, was the new thing coming out. If you were a Scotch, nobody was drinking. I think if you were you were still like there. Jack Daniels was what the market was telling you, or if you wanted to be a little fancier, was Gentleman Jack.
I had Johnny Walker growing up. That's the one that my family had.
But that's the same thing as my generation was. When we went through what was cool was either you were doing Belvedere or Grey Goose.
Yep.
The Nolay families came with their Kettle Ones.
Oh my God.
You got to try ours because we're a small family. That was their, the marketing and everything going. And then we had the Johnny Walker Blacks. That was our, and then Patron became our tequila
Yep.
of my generation. Everybody was drinking Patron,
Yeah.
and you had that. So it was just pretty much guiding. And then the Tito's American-made vodka,
Yeah, as long as you say it's American made, people are like, I want this immediately.
Yeah. Well, originally it was because it was gluten-free. That's what the bottle said.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Gluten-free.
Okay.
Now it's naturally gluten-free.
Naturally gluten-free. Yeah. I love marketing.
Yeah.
I love marketing so
Well,
far.
but they had to change it because that's the real naturally gluten-free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that generational thing, I think, but you see that in all things, right? So I'm a nerd. So you see the shift in horror movies, wrestling, and just things that are popular, like as generations are expecting and want different things. You want quick and fast. That's when like WWF was like D-Generation X and Stone Cold Steve Austin and like The Rock, like fast and impactful.
Weekly episodic.
Yeah.
Nothing really like, there was no long-term storylines like we're going back to now.
Exactly. Yeah. And now like that's what I'm seeing now, where people are starting to be much more appreciative. Even younger generations. You're seeing younger bartenders, more like this, just up and comers. Like, I want more complex. I want something different. I want something special, and time and energy and all this stuff, kind of just like to elevate it. And they see the value in crafting something. And
also we're highly more educated now. What I mean by that is that we have a living encyclopedia in our pockets. We can search the web to be educated on what we want to drink. Yep. And also we can allocate stuff easier than we did in the past. That's 100% fair. That's a great point. So we have more toys and tools to play with than, let's say, in the 90s we didn't. Or you had to use what you had in front of you. So there was probably a lot more value in, hey, a one-on-one cocktail is much easier for me to curate. From home. And shortcuts that they did, and I still joke around. One of the drinks that have gone through so many versions of it. And in the 90s, it was the worst version of it that existed. And it was the Mai Tai. Oh, my God. And still to this day, you will find Mai Tais that are done that way. How was it done in the past? Like in the 90s, we eliminated, we had the 44 Mai Tai. That was the original Trader Vic. Then as we went back, we went forward in time when we were spreading the knowledge. He created the Royal Hawaiian Mai Tai in Hawaii, which he used orange and pineapple. The one that you can now finally see in a lot of resorts and everything, which is the one with the dark rum float. A little sweeter for the mass appeal palate instead of citrus forward. Then we jump to the 90s, and like when you play Secret, the recipe is lost, and then all of a sudden it turned grenadine, then all of a sudden it turned red, and then out of nowhere, you know what? Let's not make orgeat. Let's cut that corner at the shelf life we don't want to go through. Let's add amaretto. And if you go to a lot of pool bars, you'll get that red amaretto sweet red drink that somehow should never be called a Mai Tai, but it's a Mai Tai, And you go to the Bahamas, that's the Mai Tai. Those, hey, welcome drink. Here's your Mai Tai, a red giant sugar bomb. Same thing with like the daiquiri. Like somehow that transformed into this frozen red drink that's just nothing but sugar. So just a funny story, when I've had friends over, because they come to the house of a guy who knows how to make drinks, everyone's like, oh, I'm excited to go to G's house or Arthur's house to drink. Yeah. They come and I was like, oh, do you guys want a daiquiri? He's like, oh, and they don't see me pull out a blender, and I hand them a classic daiquiri, and they're like, what? I'm like, oh, let me explain. Yeah. And it's funny, like they've never known that was the classic real daiquiri. They're always expecting that drink from a cruise line or a bar that has like a blending machine or something like that, like a giant slushie full of sugar. And they were surprised. They thought I was making shit up. And I had to turn into a nerd. It's crazy, but it's true. Yeah. Like many times I work at a bar and they order me a daiquiri and I go like classic lime. They go like strawberry. And I'm like, okay, now I know where we're going this. And I explain, hey, I can make you a classic daiquiri, a floridita style, but I like the real recipe we don't make the frozen ones here, if that's what you're looking for. They're like, oh, then it's not a daiquiri. And then you look like an asshole. Well, but that's part of it, like I'm not, I will try to help you and educate you in the most nice way, but also I'm not going to, if you want to, if that's your death, but yes, you're right. That is called a daiquiri too, I'm not gonna complain and fight with you. Yeah, and I think that's important too. Like with the service industry as well as I've worked customer service before. Customer wants what they want. It's like customer is always right in the matter of taste, but I mean, that's what they want. But I also do it. You understand. Like if I get a younger demo and everything that is more educated on what's here and they order a classic cocktail, I know that they want that classic cocktail.
100%.
But I've gotten people that want an old fashioned and I make them a wonderful old fashioned, cess, on fire, everything like clean. And they go, "Where's the club soda?" And I'm like, "What? Okay."
Yeah, I've had that too. Yeah. I've had people that are like when they muddle the orange and all. Like it's just wherever you go, everyone has a different taste in it. But especially when it comes to things that evolve and change and all that. I know that we talked a little bit about just in Tiki in general, and not because you're a lover of all things cocktail.
Yeah,
but there's also kind of I love that you talked about how the Mai Tai evolved and changed and everything like that. I think Tiki itself had to started evolving and you started seeing more creative ways. And even right now where we're in permanent vacations, escapism, like the theme and all that, you can walk into, we talked on the phone, places like Paradise Lost in New York City. That's completely horror driven and very different Tiki. Still very Tiki in the escapism. But you brought up a great point about what that means. Do you want to talk about that again, like escapism in general for Tiki?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like when we talk about Tiki, in its earlier origins, and I'm not talking about the definition of who Tiki was, talking about like the movement that was created in the 30s. It was pretty much an escape. We were in troubled times, and we went through something of a renaissance that during the war, we created this world that was happy, really great things. We're having fun, and we took pieces of everything from the Pacific Islands to Central America, the Caribbean and so on, and created this little world with rum bubble, like this little bubble. So it started out with those ties, and it didn't just happen now. This is something that has been gradually happening even from the 60s. You look at when theme parks were created, these locations when they were created, their intent was so mom and dad can escape the troubles from their day to day and be a kid in a happy place.
Yeah.
Where the outside world means nothing and we can have fun together.
Shouts to all the Disney adults that keep doing this.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, without getting into details, but those places were created for that same thing. And we were going originally to a location. Then in the 60s, we went to the stars. We looked to the stars, the space race, and we started creating other forms of places that will make us happy. Like from sci-fi, horror, adventure movies, cinema was there in place. And now we're in a tricky spot that escapism is nostalgia. So we went from looking forward to now looking back. So it's okay to have a sci-fi themed bar in the form of escapism. Yeah. You were talking Paradise Lost. I was Mothership all the way. San Diego. Yeah. A sci-fi garden in space.
Which I would love to actually visit.
And it's beautiful. And you go and the drinks are completely homages to classic Tiki cocktails. But the room is labeled as a room of escapism. Yeah. And it's fantastic. And it's okay nowadays. That's why horror goes hand in hand with Tiki. It brings me happiness. I went to Darkmoor. Darkmoor to me was my happy place.
Where's Darkmoor?
At Epic.
Oh, well, see?
Yeah. To me, that was like, wow, this is immersive, everything that I ever wanted.
What's the theme in Darkmoor?
It's the Universal Monsters.
Well, for people at home, I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We know.
Oh, okay, I'm not sure. I'm talking, we're talking a pleasant conversation.
We have a pleasant conversation. No,
man. It's a horror theme park
there you go.
And at Epic Universe, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could talk about that.
Yeah. I'm small fries. They're not watching me.
Okay. But I love now that nostalgia is big on what escapism is and Tiki. Like D&D is a form of escapism. It always was.
Yeah.
Same as video games. Like pop culture 80s movies. Like I said, my gateway was an 80s cartoon. So and that just went down the rabbit hole because we all enjoy these mediums.
What I find fun about just the idea that escapism evolves, and also it's very much objective. Subjective to the person. Because, I might not be the sci-fi space invader type of like escapism. I like my horror movies and things like that. Even though someone will look at me like, you really, really like the Evil Dead series and all that? I'm excited when I looked at Paradise Lost's menu, saw Tiki mugs for sale, shaped in the Book of the Dead size. I'm like, I need this in my life now.
The Big Toe Necronomicon. Yeah.
Yes. What up, T? You can't just sneak by. Hi. Yes, shout out to our very gracious friend who allowed us to be here and record today. So she's not on camera because she's about to actually go to work. But so to me, that pulled at my heartstrings. I'm like, oh my God, they made a drink. And yes, it's a little bit of like, fan service because they're picking at those little one-liners or those little like nods to like hidden things in movies, and you're trying to put it together. I like that. I
mean, but people don't realize that even horror as a genre, especially the main three, there was this shared universe that was happening. I'm not sure if you remember in the early 90s. I'm sorry, late 90s now.
Freddy versus Jason?
No.
Which one?
Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, yes. The Freddy glove at the end of it.
Not just that.
Oh, they talked about him being a Detonite.
Yeah, the Necronomicon actually appears.
Yes.
It's not referenced. Because originally it was Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Yes.
And that's really cool. And I'm just like, oh man, they were planning a shared universe and we didn't even know it. No. We weren't prepared at the time for something like that. And now we want it.
Yeah. That's just a funny side note. Like, I think as we've gotten older, we're paying attention. People who are making films are hiding things in plain sight because they know that fans enjoy feeling like, I noticed something. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm part of the game. I'm part of this process for them. They are actually doing this for me. We start seeing a lot more things hidden in like Marvel movies do it all the time, all that. But I love seeing it in horror movies when they give kind of nods. Even in Alien versus Predator or Predator movies, you see alien skulls and xenomorph skulls in the background.
Predator 2 did it for us,
Yeah, I'm like, I know what you did there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
They were planning something.
Yeah.
I mean, there still hasn't been the payoff yet, but I'm still waiting for it as a fanboy.
Yeah, I was a massive fanboy. But I'm a massive fanboy. Yeah. Oh, but so when you talk about escapism and just everything that makes Tiki culture unique, I think it offers something that's different from any other bar outside of like the ambiance and the space and all that, where I think it lends more to the imagination and having fun as opposed to, and I'm not talking negatively about a classic bar or anything, but this almost invites, you're not coming here to be super serious.
No. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there are locations out there because, like if you are a fan or you really love the culture, you will visit bars that you're pretty much made to actually, we're going to be here quiet, enjoy the craft of what's happening. Like it's a Tiki adjacent speakeasy, you know, or it's crazy that is actually a word right now. Yes, Tiki adjacent speakeasy. But normally when you go to these bars, it's pretty much we want to encourage you, to join us on the fun. Join us on the shenanigans. Join us on the tomfoolery. It has to happen. You can't just do it yourself. If not, it's just a bar.
Yeah.
We want you to feel like you're going and you're being transported into a place that you've never been before and hence want to come back and at the same time have a great quality product.
Yeah.
Because that's the big difference. Fair. The quality, the passion. You have people here that are making things from scratch. We're not talking about, this is home cooking. This is no longer just beverage. This is culinary.
Yeah.
And a lot of these talented people, that's why we joke around, oh, you're chefs. I might be a doctor, but they're chefs.
100%.
Head chefs. They are executive chefs, the cuisine.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Now, and the passion that they have, it's amazing. Like when you go from it, and it's an eye-opening thing because I also had to learn it that way. Like when you create stuff, you got to stop looking at it as you're making a beverage. Let's say I have an idea and I have no idea what the specs are.
You have to experiment. You have to workshop.
It's an experiment. Yeah. So how do you start it? You don't grab stuff and keep adding because then what's the recipe? You don't know. But if you look at it from a culinary standpoint and I have all these ingredients that are measured up and then I add, got my recipe, I just subtract, hence my recipe. One of
the best pieces of advice, similar to what you said about treat it culinary, because you're consuming this. Treat it like that. A good friend, Billy, I ran into him. I was at the Courtesy on a Sunday or whatever, and he's like, hey, I was trying to come up with a drink recipe, and he pulls out the flavor Bible. He's like, oh, this is for cooking. I was like, what the? He's like, but it talks about flavor profiles and things that you might not have tried that you might want to it'll help you experiment, as opposed to like going to manually try every flavor in the world. This could give you a good starting point. I'm like, what the are you talking about? And as I'm looking through it, it is insane the amount of, like you said, the amount of knowledge that's much more readily available. And when you start approaching it from a culinary standpoint, not just, oh, I think this will look good, or I think this will taste good. You're much more concise with that procedure. And you're right, they're chefs.
And like we were talking about, we have more things that are accessible to us nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And even from books that we probably had no idea, but they've been on circulation for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were from beverage to culinary books that are there with techniques that we never even thought of because, I didn't read that book in 2001 and it just got lost through the cracks, you know? And also something that now we have access to because these things that we have now in our hands is that we learned about adjustment, acid adjustment, you know? Like when I first moved to the States, I had a painkiller and it was the worst painkiller I ever had in my life because it didn't taste like the ones back home in the Caribbean. And I'm like, why? Oh, because the orange and pineapple is completely different. And nowadays when people open restaurants or open locations, they're following the path of reading a cookbook, you know, and everything is correctly written there. But the flavors are off.
Because it's regionally specific.
It's
what do you have
region-specific.
resources? It's like when they talk about bagels taste different in New York because of the water.
I mean,
it's
true. You know?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like I remember I would go to Puerto Rican restaurants in Miami and the food just was not the same. Why? What's so different of Miami and Puerto Rico? But somehow they're following the cookbooks. They're run by Puerto Ricans, but it just didn't taste like food in Puerto Rico.
That's something that I think people don't think of. Even when you talk about, same region, you go to Walmart, you go to Publix, key lime pies, key limes, Persian limes, and regular limes. I just grab limes. So it's actually kind of very small. There's a difference, actually.
There's a big difference.
They're like, what? Please don't get me key lime. I don't need those. I need the Persian limes. I was like, what?
But they all have a different flavor profile. You know, some are made more like they're more appealing for pastry or sugary items, you know, to add those notes. Others are meant for just like, I want that high acidity, you know, and I get it, you know, like I'm a sucker for just lemon. I love lemon juice, you know?
I really do.
Yeah. And nothing against lime. I just love for cocktails. I just love lemon. I will try to implement lemon in everything I can. And if you give me, I'll put yuzu too.
Yo, yuzu's actually legit.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to finish up just getting to know some of the upcoming projects, everything you've got going on, and you can tell us more about like your content creation and all that. So, all right, guys, we'll be right back. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you in part by Coach John Estrada of Run BMT Training, longtime supporter of the show and an absolute beast on the pavement. And for the record, this man just crushed the LA Marathon. And if you're looking to level up your running game, John's the coach to get you there. That's John with no H. Trust me, he's going to correct you. Whether you're training for your first 5K or tackling a full marathon, Run BMT, the coach is there, and John will have you running smarter, faster, and injury-free. So if you need expert coaching, hit up John at blackmattertraining.com and tell him I sent you. Now, he might not give you a discount, but he will make you a better runner. Again, that's John at blackmattertraining.com. Now let's get back to it. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys, and we are back. So back with this. And talking about so we kind of glanced over it, content creation, everything like that. So you've ended up building a pretty good social media following and all this. How did that transform? Like, why was it from your love of Tiki to wanting to share it with everyone online and all that?
One of the things that I noticed as I was, like falling in love with Tiki is that just how can we bring newer generations to this, and as a collector and as a, you have to be at a point fascinated with all this. Yeah. To me, it was like, hey, it's not mostly about me because I love, I've always felt like from a teaching standpoint, I love to teach people how to make stuff and like give recipes out and just talk about it. But to me, it was more like showcasing the hard work that a lot of people go through, like sometimes I get these, I see these mugs and I have too many of them, I have a problem.
You could have easily brought me one. I would have taken one.
I'll send you one. All right. But it's crazy because to me, every mug that I have, it's a memory that I have. So it's not like I feel like I'm recklessly buying these things, which sometimes I feel like, okay, yes and no, because they also bring back a lot of great memories from it. Like this takes me to this location, why I did it, why I got it. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I wanted to share, like, it's okay for people to, especially in the mug things that I do for like Tiki Tuesday and so on, is pretty much showcasing why I fell in love with this. And I know this is for someone out there. You know, it's easily accessible. You know, see the hard work that people actually went through to make this, because these things are not an overnight thing. You know, this is like almost a year project to create these mugs, you know, from a at least 7 to 8 month process to create this, from, you know, creating the artwork, getting it approved, putting it into the kiln, getting the first proof, and then actually mass producing these things.
Especially if you think about buying an IP, right? So getting those to be okay and not getting sued by someone and not getting into some issue later on, that's also probably...
And also there's artistic interpretations, and that's the beauty of it, because to me, that looks like that, but it isn't that, you know? And that's what I love. Like, oh, I know where this is from. This was perfectly done. And I want it because I remember. I was there in 19, whatever, when I was, that's old, how old I am, 19, something,
No one's here judging.
Yeah, okay, so no, but I remember 8-year-old me, I was there, had a blast, and I'm taking this, you know, like, I'm big into Ed Roth artwork, and a lot of these Rat Fink, you know, all these beautiful renderings of, you know, they go hand in hand, that California 80s rock, like MOD, SOD, all these great records, and they just transport me to that moment. So to me, that's... Oh, sorry, I lost track. Sorry. I just want people to fall in love with the same thing that I do. Same thing with the
didn't lose track. That felt like the right path. It felt like you were talking about it.
So, but that's what I want, you know, like and it's not about me. It's mostly about the artists that do this stuff, you know, because they go through a lot of work, and sometimes they do these mug releases, people buy them, and that's it. Yeah, I have it at home, but why did you buy it? You know, why? You know, like, sometimes like the artist will post their work and that's it, but then it's gone, and it should live forever into like, that's the beauty of it. The trade, the chase,
there we go.
You know, find that grail piece, you know, like trade. That's the whole beauty of it. You know, these are old trade cultures, you know, like get 2 for the price of 1, you know, like I'll give you 2 of mine for that piece that I have my grail piece that
it's called Trader Vic's.
Right? True. Yeah, Trader Outpost, you know, all these other locations that are adventure themed, you know, and that's the beauty of it. And there's a resurgence on the East Coast, you know, because it always was in the West Coast before. And now we have
beach culture,
both sides just going at it, like the collectors. It's opening doors for everybody, you know, like I have friends in the West Coast. I never thought I would have friends in the West Coast. And we've just developed a bond over trade, you know.
That's dope. I like that too, that you were showing appreciation of the artist and the artistry and showing people kind of a different avenue of how to express themselves.
And it's also humbling when you finally meet these artists, you know, because I've been there. I've done the line. I'm like, I'll do the 40-minute wait time on this line just to get a chance to speak with this artist and just ask the questions that probably nobody's asking them, you know, because I'm like, what inspired you to do this thing all this time ago? And they're like, what? You're not going to talk about? No, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I don't care about this current. I love the current mug, but I remember your piece 5 years ago.
Yeah, what's that motivated you there? You know, why? And how some artists have, like, they have their schedule of producing. You know, like, I'm gonna go traditional. Then after that, I'm gonna do something lighthearted and fun. Then I'm going completely horror, and then I'm gonna go all over. And they have like, okay, cool. They don't want to be tied into one certain style because they have so much to give. And that to me is like the amazing part.
Yeah, they also probably don't want to get burnt out on one complete.
I know. And you also don't want to, there's a lot of passion. Like all these people that work in this industry, just like me, they grew up like little nerdy kids. And I know, and I say it in the best way possible, that love everything from pop culture. They grew up with pop culture. They grew up with this. They have so many things that they want to pull into. And that brings them happiness. And I'm like, your happiness makes me happy. Yeah. And I want to share that happiness with everybody. And sometimes I come out as a big goofball, but I don't care because I was excited about it.
It doesn't I'm happy that you said that because I think people being themselves and not worrying about what others think is one of the places is the happiest, just being me. Yeah. I'd rather be me.
And we should never change. We should never be apologetic for being yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, true to yourselves at least. And
as long as you're not a dick. Yeah.
True. Yeah,
Mm.
don't be a dick.
Yeah, it's a big-
Be nice.
Fight that temptation.
Yeah. No, but that to me, and with the drinks, like, I originally started with, like, I wanted to do pop culture cocktails, from Monty Python or Jaws, Jurassic. You name the movie IP, I was going to make cocktails with it. But I just went down the rabbit hole of, the classic drinks and then just wanting to talk about them. And then just the mugs came into play. And I was like, I'm having so much fun doing this that I completely lost track. But I should get back to it because I think we need more, maybe some xenomorph cocktails out there.
Oh, God. Hey, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you recently started following me on social media. We've actually been making cocktails based off of like horror movies. Yeah, the xenomorph was a thought.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need a xenomorph mug or something.
I mean, there's a couple out there. I think Mondo did their xenomorph alien.
If you can get here in a week, I will make a xenomorph alien egg or something like that.
There are the eggs as shot glasses. They were because it's like I actually got my girl I got her first Tiki mug.
What was
she
it?
was an alien queen.
That is awesome.
And I said, queen for my
Did she
queen.
feel some kind of way about it?
No, the thing is that I've tried to get her to watch a lot of the movies that I grew up with, and most of them don't click. That's not for me. But Alien was the one that she saw part 1 and binge watched them all. And she loved Ripley. She loved the franchise, and that's her thing. And she was like...
Shout out to the significant others who took that for, like, he's like, open-minded to it.
No, she binge watched it. She didn't even wait for me. I went, took a nap, and she was already on part 4. She's watched all Alien 3 without me.
My fiance Rosanna watched all of Alien Earth with me. Anytime I try to put on a horror movie, like it's become kind of synonymous with movie night. She will find a B horror movie. She'll like be down to watch horror movies.
We went through a binge after that for sure. Like we watched like a bunch of other movies that I never even gave a chance to. So it was like we were like, okay. Like let's go see how bad this was. Like everything from like Netflix that did their horror shows and all that, hauntings, and I still love the one that was pretty much Edgar Allan Poe's pretty much novels into
Follow the House of Usher.
Yes, that one was a really good
one. That was by Chuck Hogan. He did Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, and
the other ones started out really good. They lost me at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like Midnight Mass? Midnight Mass was one of my favorites.
It started out so good. Like I love that guy was perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Like
for the vampire.
Yeah.
For the priest.
The priest. Yeah, that was fantastic. But it just like the ending for me was and same thing as the haunting, the time jump thing. Just like I thought it was going to be more interest if we kept like the time jump thing, like when they would die. But
House of Usher was fantastic.
Yeah,
that one was perfect. Damn near perfect.
That one was perfect.
I will say that Midnight Mass. One thing that made me laugh is the actor that plays the priest.
Yeah.
They were interviewing him. Like, we got to show him.
Have you seen him on Gen V?
Yeah.
It's like he's perfect casting.
Yeah, he's a great bad guy. In Midnight Mass. Let me see what his name is. Father Paul Hill, but I want to know who the actual actor is. Damn it. Is Hamish Linklater.
Oh.
All right. Hamish Linklater. They were talking to him about, hey, what do you think about the fact that Chuck Hogan works with the exact same people, blah, blah. Is that kind of cool? He's like, it's funny you bring that up because he's only worked with me once and he hasn't brought me back. Like, he's like, he has a really great habit, right? And he only broke it for me. Don't I feel special? He's got to be halfway funny. They're like, did you want to work with him? He's like, yes, he's absolutely brilliant. Please call me Chuck. Like, but I do love those kind of shows, and I love the fact that horror has become kind of like
and it's I can see even from a Hollywood standpoint, like these aren't that expensive to make.
They're not,
and that's why in the 80s they were pumping them left and right because they were profitable. And I'm glad that we're back to R-rated horror.
Oh, thank God!
Not that PG-13 craze was just
because they wanted everyone to be able to go, and then they realized those movies were bombing, so they were losing money regardless.
Yeah, bigger budgets and less payoff.
Exactly. In the interest of horror, as we're kind of wrapping up, because it's getting to that time, I know you have the missus waiting. What character do you think deserves its own Tiki mug that hasn't been made one? Or which one, even if it made it, which one's like, I have an idea?
Oh, man. I don't think, I know that they did a couple of like the second iteration of Pennywise.
Yeah.
But I think an iconic Tim Curry Pennywise would be really dope. Because don't get me wrong, Skarsgård was fantastic in the role, but man, that iconic like I'm nice, but I will, really like Tim Curry is just frightening as a whole. I love Tim Curry, or maybe The Darkness.
That's exactly what I was going to say when you brought up Tim Curry.
Yeah,
All I thought it was Darkness. For people who don't know, Darkness is the character, essentially the devil in the movie Legend.
Yeah,
with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it is Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I think it's Mia Sarah, and when they were little kids. Yeah,
they were damn near children.
It's not played as a horror movie. It's literally
a fantasy movie.
But in the 80s, in the 80s, you could, as long as you didn't curse, it could be an R-rated movie, and it was still rated PG.
Oh, Tim Curry was frightening. If you were to put that in now, he could be a lead villain.
I mean, he would have. He was not the Joker because he was too scary.
I heard that. Yeah.
And God bless Tim Curry. He's doing great after the stroke and everything, but and back out there in the world. But like, he was the original idea but Warner Brothers, in those interviews that he said, like, he was deemed not as famous as they wanted a big name, Jack Nicholson. And then that goes even with the Robin Williams like trick that like lowballed him to get Nicholson to go in kind of thing. But he was deemed too scary. And then they gave him, there are tracks out there in the DVDs of the animated series of Tim Burton.
Tim Curry.
Not on the Tim Burton animated series, like the Batman animated series. And Tim Curry did the voice of the Joker again. And he was too scary. So they gave it to Mark Hamill.
I did not know that part.
And there's actually, if you look in the DVDs, you will see the track of Tim Curry reciting the animated scene.
Oh my God, I have to fucking pull that up.
Yeah, and it's like really scary. That's why he eventually did the clown, which was Pennywise.
I fucking love Tim Curry. Shouts to him. Yeah. Oh, well, I like that answer. Because I was going to say The Darkness when you brought up Tim Curry, but I think outside of that, I would want a Predator.
And I think right now, anything that's modern, it's being done.
Yeah. But
I have to mostly look back on the older ones.
For a Tiki mug that I haven't seen, I wanted to get the Predator head, like the helmet.
Oh, that would be really
like
cool,
that
too.
With like maybe the gaping jaw, but not even if it was just a mask, even if it was straight up the mask, and you just have that. I think it would be pretty dope to just hold it.
Did you see the Mondo Kaiju Godzilla mug?
No,
it's a bowl, a scorpion bowl, and in the middle, the bowl is Tokyo.
Oh my!
And God. The head of Godzilla is in the middle, and you can put the fire so it looks like the blue flame of
so dope.
Godzilla. And I'm like,
love that.
That's really cool, man.
I know we got to wrap up. You got stuff going on. What? One last question that I like asking is deathbed cocktail.
Classic daiquiri.
Your classic daiquiri.
Classic daiquiri is my deathbed cocktail, and the reason is that it's complexity out of simplicity. Three ingredients make a perfect drink. Simple as that.
All right.
Yeah, and just refreshing citrus. I just love citrus cocktails, and it's not overly sweet. You don't take away. The rum is still the star, and just light, acidic, and refreshing. Yeah,
I love that.
Simple.
Part of the reason why I think that's one of the best cocktails is even if you wanted to get creative with it, all you really have to do is swap one thing.
Now on cocktails from Tiki World, I have 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're completely. I love good classic 44 Mai Tai. Good Jungle Bird. Something about, I know it's sweet, but the bitterness of the Campari.
Yeah, the Campari makes it perfect.
And I love a good refreshing Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just went 3 different flavors, but those are just, to me, you don't take away. The spirit is there. You'll always feel the flavor. And not overly complex to do. And it's not you can enjoy 2 and not worry about it, because they tend to be really strong, these guys.
Okay. All right. I enjoy it. I love those.
See, I can't just choose one.
That's the beauty of the life we live. We can do whatever we want, right? You can have more than one. All right. Well, Dr. Dizz.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor. Where can people find you? Any upcoming projects or any things that you want to promote?
Right now, I am not in liberty to discuss any projects that are coming right now. Nothing has been concrete sealed, but as soon as they're out there, I will share them with the world. I'm excited. But you can find me at Dr. Dizz at Instagram. Real Drinks by Dizz on YouTube.
which he's working to revitalize.
It's gonna come soon. I'm working, and that's pretty much it. You can find me every Friday night here at Permanent Vacation.
Yeah,
where I'll be slinging some drinks with these great chefs.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the fact that he actually works here too. So, but you find him here every Friday. And if you haven't come to Permanent Vacation, big shout out to the team here. Yeah. Drinks are amazing.
Yeah, Tropical Terror Nights is running strong right now.
Yeah, Tropical Terror Nights is running strong, and I haven't gotten to try any of the drinks because I've been working for you guys. Let me drink, goddamn.
He'll have them all now.
I'll have them all now that the show's done. Outside of that, obviously, I'm glad to spend some time talking with you, and I look forward to probably working together on something soon, I'm sure.
It'll be really fun.
It'll be a lot of fun for sure. Guys, for anyone who likes what we are doing, make sure you give him a like, subscribe, follow Permanent Vacation, hit them up. Find Tamara. She makes the best drinks I've had.
She does. She's amazing.
Yeah. She has obviously been on our show before. Check out that episode. And we've posted a lot of the photos I've taken here on the These Girly Drinks Will Kick Your Ass events. They're so dope.
They're so amazing.
They're so amazing.
Her and Devin are really kicking ass on those.
And they are. Whenever I post pictures of them in the spot, it's like, oh, you got like 700. Like what? I got like 7,000 views of the pictures like the first night. God damn, they really like them there.
Yeah, it's amazing. The cocktail program that they're launching every time that they do it is just
innovative and fun.
Yeah, and they're taking classic cocktails and innovating them with brand new techniques. Definitely grabbing from what we were talking about, the culinary side of it. Yeah. And it's amazing. Like I'm always excited every time that they're doing these launches. It's really good.
Good. Yeah.
Sadly, I'm working the days that they do these events, so I can't come. I have to go next day. Hey,
you can come up with a cough suddenly and just I can't make it.
Yeah.
We don't condone lying to your bosses.
No, don't do it. Don't
do that. Yeah. Guys, you can find me on Instagram at Last Call with Arthur. The YouTube channel is growing more than I expected it to. This Last Call Pod with Arthur. We're going to have Spirit School classic cocktail recipes for Minimalist Mondays, some innovative cocktails. For those who have enjoyed the horror cocktails that I've been posting, so I have the Candyman, ode to Tony Todd, so-called Say My Name is coming out soon. It's a very interesting cocktail. It was made with beeswax, honey, fat infused into a bourbon. Left that sit in the freezer for like a week. Brought that out and made some really fun cocktails. We made the Sunken Place, which was workshopped, and Samara helped me figure out some of the flavors. Shouts to Empress Jen for showing some love there. And but if you like what those cocktails are inspired by, just fun things, there's going to be a channel for that as well. So click like, subscribe, follow. And for those who want more uncut and unfiltered episodes where we talk about whatever we want and nothing is edited out, sign up for the Patreon for free $99, and you can get uncut and unfiltered episodes and exclusive behind the scenes of everything we got going. So, as always, guys, drink responsibly. Don't text your ex. Avoid him. It's all one click buy. Yeah. Don't drink and drive, and be safe, guys. Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers. Yeah. Unless they have candy.
Yes, or puppies in the back of the van.
Yeah, but get the candy first.
Goddamn right. See you first. Bye, guys. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had, from flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business. I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.